makes me a bad body. So it's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to iBoxingHub. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, and share. I go by the name of Biyenge, featuring your Truly Tre. What's good?
Yes, cuz. Big up to you. You're looking fresh in that Kronk hoodie, so big up to you. And big up to the whole of the community that's tuned in to this tremendous show. So this is episode 202. Cuz, looking fresh in that hoodie. And before we get started, we've got to do the shout outs to the people. So once again, our sponsors, we got to give them a shout out, which is D-Rock Clothing. Yes, people, you know the routine, you know the spiel by now, but it is iBoxingHub in association with D-Rock Clothing. So people, take advantage of the discount code, which is iBoxingHub24, and you get 40% off. Cuz we've obviously got Mr. Neutral in the chat. He's saying looking sharp in that Kronk gear. Big up to the iBoxingHub fam. Big up to you, the classy one, aka the Jim Watt of New Boxing Media. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cuz, as you're wearing Kronk, I need to obviously promote Kronk.
That's it. Thunder strikes.
Yes, part of the Kronk family, people. So apologies for everyone that's in the UK. You guys can't actually, get this at the moment. But if you're in the States, just head over to Kronk's, website, and you'll be able to, purchase the gear, of course. And don't worry, we're going to sort out a few things in the back end so that the UK family can, utilize some of these, tremendous goods. So big up to Paul and big up to John as well. And cuz just before we get into the show, I know the show's called the Doncaster De La Hoya stops the Romford ball in 5 rounds. We obviously have to talk about just very quickly. Obviously, it was the Misfits event on Friday, and big up to our brother Abbas. He's obviously done a tremendous job, covering the show. We've actually recently launched his interview with Fox to G. Fox to G is obviously one of the fighters that he had a close, relationship with. He's been there since the beginning, and here's just a quick clip of that interview.
It's emotional because I grew up looking up to him in a really big way. He was and is my hero, right? And I'm not embarrassed to say that. He's one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, and to have him give me a hug and say he's proud of me, it's a lot, man. It means a lot.
Yes, obviously, once again, big up to our brother Abbas. Abbas just absolutely smashing it, with the interviews, with the work. Just big up to Abbas, man. Once again, I call him Mr. WrestleMania, man, with the work that he does, man. So big up to him. And Nutra's obviously saying, wasn't Dave Allen fantastic? I loved his performance. And good boxer, Fox G. Yes, Mr. Neutral, was a good performance from him. I'm sure you obviously tuned in to that event. Cuz that's all the shout outs. let's get down to business, man. What are you saying?
We might as well talk about the main events before we start speaking about other subjects. Well, boy, where do I go? Where do I start? In fact, do you know what? When I deep it, Alan is experienced. Even though he's been out for what, 5 years, he's fought, you know, world level fighters, the likes of Luis Ortiz, Dillian White. So he's been there. He's been there. And who else? What's his name? Who was the guy who knocked him out? I've forgotten his name now. It's from Liverpool. Got his names. But anyway, yeah, my point. Sorry?
Price?
Yes, David Price, yes. So my point is, it's just like, look, obviously, gosh, he gave it his good shot. I think, you know, where he went wrong, if I'm honest, is that he was fighting on the back foot. He never fights on the back foot. You know, he's a forward fighter, but, you know, obviously he tried something different. You know, it worked to a certain degree, but you can tell he was gassing out. But Dave Allen, all he was doing just applying the pressure. But look, here's this. Dave Allen proved that, you know, he's still here. Do you know what I mean? Is it one of his first titles?
Yeah.
I believe he can compete with the likes of David Adelaide, Jamie TKV, or even a rematch with Fraser Clark.
Not even Dylan White. Yeah, I was thinking kind of.
Do you know, if I'm honest with you, I feel with the performance that I saw yesterday and what I saw last time from Dave Allen, if the money was right, I would like to see Dave Allen fight Derek Chisora.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, no, that would be interesting. It would be a fun fight to watch. Yep.
Dave Allen has, at this present moment, he's got options, right? Like I said, David Adelaide, yeah, Jamie TKV, or even Fabio Wardley, Fraser Clark, and Derek Chisora. Now, with Johnny Fisher, people are saying, where does he go? I think Johnny Fisher, he can rebuild. I think the best opponent for Johnny Fisher to fight will be Solomon Dacus.
Yeah. I agree. That would be a good fight. It's a nice little comeback fight for him as well. And I kind of just wanted to put out there as well, you know, despite, you know, what's happened, a lot of people did say maybe it wasn't the right time for him to get straight in a rematch with such an experienced opponent. But just credit to the bravery of Johnny Fisher, man. Once again, Bosch, regardless of him winning, losing, or drawing a fight, he brings the crowd. He's great energy. And you even heard Alan after the fight that, you know, if his son is half the man that, you know, Fisher is, then he'll be a proud man. And that just goes a long way with, you know, what Johnny Fisher brings to the sport. So hold your head high. You know, a loss doesn't define you. I think he's still young. And I generally think it was just a situation of, yes, could be a bit of underestimating his opponent, but at the same time, just lack of experience. Even Alan was saying that, you know, the difference between the both of them was experience. And at the end of the day,
don't get me wrong. Yes, it comes down to experience, right? But at the same time, as boxers, they love to challenge themselves, because without that challenge, how would we know? How would he know how good he is? Because look, from this L, he can learn from it and bounce back. Like I said, the only fight that makes sense, not that the only fight makes sense, but there's either two people. He could either fight somebody who was a cruiserweight coming into heavyweight, or fight someone who's currently in heavyweight. So look, we got another name out there. Richard Riakpo.
What, for Fisher?
Why not? Richard Riakpo.
Okay. Yeah.
Or Solomon. So look, there's options, because at the end of the day, look, I was rooting for Johnny Fisher. You know me, I'm a Johnny Fisher fan.
Same.
It is what it is. You know, like, at the same time, you got to give credit to Dave Allen. You know, he done what he said he was going to do, and he done it at round 5. And that was a knockout. That was, wow, he stopped him.
emphatically as well, man. You can't even, argue what happened, with the result. I think that's what he wanted to do, because the first fight, it was a bit of a, controversial one. Obviously we saw what happened, and just to come back, just to kind of let people know that, look, you were asleep on me, because we were. I'm not even going to lie to you, because we did say everybody. I thought, Johnny Fisher, the younger guy, he's going to make the adjustments and, do what he does. But I think in the end, what happened is, they kind of they used the same game plan as they did before. It was kind of a mirror image of the last fight. Fisher was dominating the first four, I would say, boxing well, but more cautious. But then something was just inside the Doncaster, De La Hoya, just saying, look, I've got to leave this to my hands. I can't let this go to the judges and make it definitive. And even though that's his boy, that's his friend, he kind of saw the fight as a bit of a disrespect, not in a bad way to Johnny Fisher, but he's saying, look, I've fought so and so, I've got this much experience in the ring, me fighting Fisher, it wasn't the thing, man. He kind of proved why, he had these intuitions, of course, man. But now big up to him.
When he got knocked down around first time, around 5, when he got up, I automatically thought he was going to go and hug him. Do you know what I mean? Just kill time, because there was, I think, were there 30 seconds left in that round? But due to lack of experience, he didn't know what's going on, and obviously the time he got knocked down, the same time his corner threw the towel in. So, but yeah, no, look, it is what it is. The fights I would like to see, because look, he's a good ticket seller. So at the end of the day, look, Eddie still needs him. Do you know what I mean? So, and he's only 25, 26.
Still very young, man. He's still very young, man. And remember, Dubois kind of got his first loss around that period anyway, of him in his development of becoming a boxer. So for me, it just doesn't define you, man. So big up to Paul. He's obviously saying, looking good, guys. Thanks for wearing our merch. Great win for David Allen. Well deserved. We'd like to see David Allen have a go with Dylan White. A great domestic clash. Look, big up to Paul, all the way from Detroit. We love the gear that you've given us, and it just looks tremendous, and we appreciate you so much. Because look, Paul even said it. Paul, it's like Paul read my mind. I was maybe a good fight with Dylan White.
I'm intrigued to see Dylan White and Okoli.
Okay,
that's the fight I want to see. Dylan White and Okoli.
No, that's fair. That is fair. It is fair. It's been brewing between them two, so I can still see why you're saying that as well. So
maybe, as a farewell fight, once Dylan's done, ready to retire, it could be Dave Allen, because it looks like we're not going to see Dylan and AJ anymore. So financially, for AJ, it doesn't make sense. So yeah.
Oh, you reckon AJ's just not going to look at that Dylan White fight?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, me personally, I don't think.
Eddie and Frank has said, look, that's a fight. It could happen. He could go in like the undercard for this fight. Look good, and they kind of look at it like, ooh, maybe Dylan's looking good for rematch, man. So let's see what happens, man. AJ's got a lot of options, of course, but I'm sure at this stage, like you said, he's looking for the more commercially viable fights for him moving forward. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah. So next week we've got Josh Taylor and Isman. Yes. Now that's an interesting one because Josh is moving up to 147, right? So this is his first fight at 147.
Yep.
And bear in mind, he's a former, undisputed world champion at 140.
Yep.
Now, on paper, I would say the person who's got more advantage is probably Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Usman, I would want Usman to win this fight, but he's fighting in Josh's hometown, Scotland. I don't know. I want him to shock the world, but I just can't see him. If it goes to distance, yeah, it's a Josh Taylor win.
most likely, but it might even not go there.
If Usman wins, I want him to fight Boots next.
Ooh, because I don't know if you've been kind of hearing what's been happening online, cuz man, you know, like, I don't know what. Basically, I'll kind of give you a scoop, man. So the guy that a lot of people hate, love and hate, you know, Mr. Takeover. I ain't got no issues with the Takeover, man. You know, he's saying that talks are strong for that fight against Boots, man. And you know, Timothy Bradley's also come out and said, look, you know, that's a good fight for Boots, man, because they're both athletic, you know, both skillful. Yes, obviously Boots is going to be the heavier guy on the night, but he's going to be fighting someone that, you know, he's got the skills, man. You know, I know he's got obviously all the racist stuff and all these little comments to try and, you know, get fights and stuff like that, man. But putting all of that aside, looking at him in the ring, he's a quality operator, and you know, that would be a good fight, especially if he's moving up. And he likes to, you mentioned Josh Taylor, he likes to fight the kings of each division. So, you know, he's fought the Lomachenko's at lightweight to become undisputed, so cool. Then he's obviously moved up, done the 140 against Josh Taylor. Now he wants to obviously move up to fight the, at the moment, you would say Boots is the king of the division because he's holding most of the belts. So, yeah, that's what it's looking like, man.
Till that fight's been finalized, because again, we all hear hearsays. Yes, it's going to be a good fight, but until it's finalized, if it hasn't, then I want Usman, a UK person, to go out there in the States and fight Boots.
Yeah,
I mean, how do you see that one going in terms of Taylor and Usman? Tough fight?
Yeah, it's going to be more of a challenge for... it'll be interesting to see how Taylor, you know, manages in the new weight, because obviously he's clearly been struggling to make the 140. He's been meaning to move up to 147 for quite some time. That fight with Teofimo Lopez, he was probably at his last legs for that weight. So, yeah, he's going to be obviously a lot stronger. He's going to be able to have those extra meals so he can be in his, you know, good weight. You know what? It depends how Esselman, you know, comes into this fight, because for me, because you have someone coming into your house, as in, you know, your weight division, you know, you should be at the advantage because you've got the naturally smaller guy coming up to you. But the dynamics is a bit mad because he's obviously fighting in Scotland, in Josh Taylor's hometown. So it kind of changes the dynamics a bit, man. But yeah, Esselman's got a really good chance of winning, man. But I think he would need to kind of press the button and, you know, try and get that stoppage. Just put a statement out there. Should he want to have that kind of fight that you wanted for him to go in the States, he's going to have to put a statement performance to kind of, you know, what's the word? For him to kind of cause a buzz, for people to call for him to, you know, have those big fights against the Boots and, you know, these other fighters. So let's see. He's going to be in the zone. Obviously, it's going to be a big platform. So if he showcases his skills, which I do believe he is going to do, then yeah, I don't see why he can't win this fight. But on paper, you would have to go for the home fighter. But you know us, man. Well, mostly yourself going for the underdog. So in this occasion, I'm going for the underdog as well, man, because obviously I got, you know, got some close ties with Esselman, so I'm hoping that he gets the victory.
Cattrall vs Eubank. Wow. Now that's an interesting one.
Good fight.
That's an interesting one. That's I think it's a good fight. You know, Eubank stepping up. He's out of all people, you know, he wants to fight Cattrall because obviously Cattrall's fought former champions, etc. And I completely get it. But at the same time, I feel that the pressure will be on Cattrall because if he doesn't deliver, or if he loses, I mean,
you go down the pecking order, isn't it? Unfortunately, if he doesn't get that win or statement win, then it's going to be a tough fight, man. It's going to be very, very, very tough. And yes, Boxing After Dark, big up to you, my brother. Is saying Kronk hoodies looking fire. Now, big up to you, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Don't worry, we'll have a word with Kronk, and we'll see if we can just do some sort of giveaway for the UK fans just until we sort out that UK shipping situation that they have, man. So yeah, because I think it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I think it's a good platform for Harlem. He's been with Wasserman, fighting the channel for 5 fights, but this platform is obviously going to be in the zone. It's a much bigger fighter as well. So I'm really happy for Harlem. He's wanted an opportunity like this. Maybe, they should have seen the Adam Azim fight. That didn't happen. But, this fight, I believe, is it going to be at 140? 140?
Yeah. I believe so, yes. 140.
140?
Yeah, 140. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. I don't know, because he was supposed to fight Adam Azim at 140.
Yeah.
But I think there was an issue with the weight, because I think he went to 147. I don't know. It could be a catch. I'm not too sure. But still, it's a good fight. It's a good fight.
It's a good fight. It's an interesting one as well. So it's a fun one, and it will be good for the people to see what Harlem can do as well, man. Because he's a very solid fighter. In terms of maybe exposure, not a lot of people kind of know him to be that kind of brash character, because he's quite down to earth. He's not really gonna be cussing you and putting himself out there like that, man. He lets his hands do the talking in the ring. So let's see what happens. Obviously, Eubank Senior, I'm sure he's gonna be there, supporting his nephew. So I think it should be interesting, cuz, man. I can't wait for it. I think that's the exact fight that Harlem's been waiting for quite some time, cuz, man. Just imagine being in his position, and he's kind of just going through these fights, and he's just waiting for like a big opportunity, and he's finally got it here.
Belanga beats Shiraz. Now that's a big fight.
What are you saying, cuz?
Do you know what? I'm gonna say a 50-50 on both, because when we look at who they actually fought, as in, like, apart from the world champions, Belanga lost to Canelo, but went to distance with Canelo. Shiraz, some say he drew, some say he lost, but at 160, it was a learning curve. But now him moving up to 168, I think this is going to be a bloodbath fight, because if he beats Belanga, he's taking back the spot. Do you know what I mean? And for him, he's moving up to 168, yeah, and to fight Belanga straight away, that's big. Because usually some people would want a warm up, a 1 or 2 warm up, and then going at the deep end. But at this moment, I'm back in the Brit. I'm going for Shiraz, because he's just humble. Because Belanga I watched the press conference a little bit, and I understand you got to have the fight, etc. But he seemed a bit nervous.
Oh, you reckon Belanga was nervous, yeah?
Just a bit nervous, yeah.
Okay. So you kind of see the way he's kind of been, his antics and stuff like that. So you're more nervous. Yeah, no, I could see what you're saying. I could see what you're saying for sure.
Yeah. I think, do you know what? I think Shiraz can stop him.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Mid to late. Yeah.
Okay. Mid to late. All right. Yeah, I feel you. Okay.
If he stops him, then he's up there.
Yeah. Because if he wins that kind of fight, then he goes straight in the sweepskates, isn't it, man? For a title shot, man. But the queue, as you know, is mad, man. Because I would say the guy that is kind of next in line to fight Canelo, it has to be Caleb Plant. So I would say whoever wins this fight has that fight with Caleb Plant as the eliminator, then the winner could fight El Presidente, man. But for me, I'm not even gonna lie to you, and I think I've said this before previously, man, but I think Canelo can only be drawn to fight one person in the UK, man. And I think this fighter, you know, he's got enough, you know, star power, man, to bring a fighter like that to Eubank Jr., man. That's exactly what I'm thinking, man. So I'm thinking that happens next year for Senko in the UK. That's what I'm thinking.
Here's the thing. We're jumping the gun. Crawford could upset the party. Crawford could beat Canelo. Then what?
Crawford retires, cuz.
Then that means where the belts are scattered around. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I'm trying to say
that can still happen, cuz. It could still happen. If the belts are separated, Canelo and Eubank can still have that fight, man. It's still a big fight. You know, it's still a big fight in the UK.
Massive fight, yeah. Even if Canelo, Canelo fights Eubank. Let's just say goes to distance, and obviously Canelo wins on points. It means Eubank done better than what's his name? Just on this.
Yeah, them two just need to get on, cuz.
Yeah. Now that will be that'll be an interesting fight. Canelo here in the UK fighting Eubank Jr. Wembley Stadium, massive.
Easy could happen, cuz easily just through, you know, the first, you know, Ben versus Eubank fight or Eubank versus Ben fight. It generated enough noise, you know, to capture the imagination of casual fans, man. Generational talks as well, man. You got our parents, and you know, you got the generation even above them. You know, you got kids, so it connected a lot of people. So Eubank now has got a lot of fans, as well as Ben as well, man. So that energy, he can bring a Canelo to the UK. And, you know, have that big fight, man. I still think that fight happens, man.
But there's a rematch, I've been told, happening on the 27th of September. Ben and Eubank.
Yeah, it looks like it's a strong possibility that fight happens again, man. And I'm not surprised, but then I kind of just didn't want to see this fight again, cuz, man. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I just want
catch weight. That's what I'm asking for. Catch weight. That's what I'm asking for.
Yeah, man. It's catch weight, but you know what it is, cuz you know when you obviously we're not experts, we're not specialists or whatever, man. But you know, just through my years of just watching the sport and just seeing, you know, the damages after certain fights. Because I still think, you know, Conor's got a lot to give in the sport, man. He's still young, you know, he's still in a position where, you know, there's the fights against Boots, you know, Norman Jr. I think both guys should focus in their own divisions, man. And yeah, just one and done. I think Adam Cattrall actually said it best on TalkSport, man. One and done. I don't want to see this fight again. I don't want to see it again, cuz I can't lie to you, man. I won't be interested this second time round. Obviously, I know I said that during the first time, and I ended up, you know, just because of the whole situation with Senior and everything. But this time round, we got that moment, man. I don't think we're not gonna get those heights again, man. I think it reached its peak, man, for its excitement and hype. And the second fight, should it happen, I hope, you know, it's at a weight that, but it just the weights just still don't make sense, cuz, man.
No, I know, but it's only fair because Eubank can't go through what he went through in the first fight. It wasn't good. It's not good.
It wasn't good, man. You killed him, man. Not in that sense, but you could kind of see that this weight cut was a tough one, cuz, man. Yeah. It was tough.
Yeah. Oh, we shall see. You know, also we've got in. I'm also looking forward to the Katie Taylor and what's her name?
Amanda Serrano 3.
Yes, the trilogy. That fight there, I'm really looking forward to that fight.
What are you saying, cuz, on that one, man? Like, what? You know what?
Yeah.
Let's change it up a bit, man. Because, all right, Serrano, we know, you know, especially for the second fight, man, like we had at least winning that fight. What does she have to do in this third fight to just
knock
secure?
out? Knock her out. Knock her out. That's what you have to do. Knock her out.
But there's not enough time. I feel that, you know, in women's boxing,
2 minutes,
because they've got only 2 minutes around and it's only 10 rounds, I feel like they don't have enough. They've got enough time to do a knockout, of course, man. But in those kind of high profile fights, 2 minute, 10 round fights, man, it's not enough, man, for me, man. If it was maybe 12 2 minute rounds, I think that would be reasonable, man. But yeah, I think you're right. It has to be a knockout, man, if she has to get that definitive, you know, W. Because judges, we know what's going to happen again, man. No, but cuz we can't even say it's a conspiracy thing, man, because Katie Taylor, who's nothing to do with MVP, got the victory on the cross side. Man. So that's a whole different thing, cuz.
Well, let's just wait and see. You know, trilogy, and trilogy. I think after this fight, don't know. I mean, with Katie Taylor, is she looking to continue, or she? I mean, she's done it all. She's become undisputed. She's achieved everything in the sport. You know, she's done really well. Definitely a future Hall of Famer.
Retired time ago, cuz. I think she retired a long time ago, cuz.
Money's good, man. Money's good.
Money's too good, man. I know the money's good. You know, the fights are good. You know, she's fighting once a year. You know, getting a big payday. Look, I'm not surprised, man. Big up to her, man. She's a legend.
Boy, it's that time. End of the show.
Yes, obviously, cuz. Big up to you. Looking absolutely tremendous in the Kronk hoodie. So once again, big up to Paul and John, you know, the owners of the Kronk brand. So people, just make sure you're following the work that they're doing. They've actually got some big news that's obviously coming out in the next few weeks. So, you know, stay tuned into what they're doing, of course, and we'll be, you know, promoting some of their clips on our platform as well, just to kind of educate the community on what they're doing. And also, cuz, big up to the whole of the community. Thank you so much for the continued support. We really do appreciate you. We obviously are working, you know, a lot in the back end, you know, to deliver tremendous content, but also give you guys a platform to speak. So if you've got anything to say, don't be afraid. We've got so many different shows that's happening throughout the week, and we've got more shows that's coming up. We've got more collaborations that we're going to introduce in the next upcoming weeks and months. But yeah, big up to the whole of the family. Big up to you, cuz. And God bless whoever's tuning in as well, man.
Big up. Keep supporting, keep tuning in. Have a lovely, productive week ahead, and we shall see you on Wednesday. Peace and love.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. Light up my scarred with a sweet one, please. Someone flips me a bag,